Alright guys, how's it going? So as you can see, I'm not here today, so you're going to look at this video and we're going to take some notes just like we kind of did yesterday. So the first thing I'd like you guys to do is in your notebooks, open up to the next new page and please title it 4.2 Areas of Triangles. You can put next to it version 2, or you can put like a little 2 next to it because it's the second day we've been taking notes, or you can just leave it regular, whatever works best for you. So the first thing I want you guys to do is this warm-up. So go ahead, look at the warm-up, pause the video, and then whenever you guys are done, play back the video and see if you got the right answer. Alright, so what this warm-up says to do is you need to find the area of the shaded region and you need to show all of your work. So we've already done some like these, but let's just do it again real quickly. So we need to find the area of the big shape and then also of the smaller shape. So, the area of the parallelograms in general, we know that the area is base times height. So I'm going to take my base, which is 8, take my height, which is 12. I'm going to multiply those together. And we know that that's going to be 96. And then we take our area of our smaller one. So we have 6 times 4, which we know is 24. And we have to take the area of the bigger one. I'm going to write that over here so I don't run out of room. Minus the area of the smaller one. So we have 96 minus 24. So that's going to be a 2 over here and a 7 here. So our final answer is going to be 72 meters squared. Please do not forget your label. That would be very bad. So what we're going to be talking about today, again, like I said, is the area of triangles. So the first thing I want you guys to do is just remember this from yesterday. You don't need to pause the video or anything. But remember that there's 2 ways to write the area of a triangle. We have 1/2 base times height, and we also have base times height over 2. You guys can use whichever one you think is going to work best for you. Using one of those, though, I want you to pause the video and find the area of this shape, and then play back the video once most of us are done. And by the way, all of these are being done in your notebook. So go ahead and get started on this one. So this one is asking us to find the area of this triangle. We know that our formula is area equals base times height over 2. So if we were to use that here, we would have our area is, our base is 3. Our height is 4, and we still have to do over 2. So our area is 3 times 4, which is 12, over 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so our area is 6, and then we cannot forget our label. Since we have area, we know it's squared, and it said centimeters over here, so we know that our final answer is our area is 6 centimeters squared. I want you guys now to do this one. Pause the video, and when you guys are done, play it back, and we'll look at this one. Alright, so here we're going to use our same formula, which is base times height over 2. Now for this one, our base is going to be 14, because remember our base, pretend like you're putting the shape on a table. If we were to put this shape on the table, it would sit on this 14-yard side here. But you couldn't put it on this middle side, because that's inside of the shape, so that could not sit on a table. So our base is always going to be what could sit on a table. So our base is 14. Our height is 22. We have to divide it by 2. So we have to figure out what 14 times 22 is first. So I'm going to do that over here real quick. We have 14 times 22. 2 times 4 gives us 8. 2 times 1 gives us 2. Then we add our 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. We add that together. We are going to get 28 plus 280. We are going to get 308 over 2. Then in order to figure out the final answer, you need to simplify farther, so we need to figure out what 308 divided by 2 actually is. And that is going to be 154. And then we can't forget our label, so we have yards, and we have yards squared. Alright, so our final answer is 154 yards squared. I want you guys to work on this one out. Pause the video once you're done, and we will go over it. So here we have a base of 30 and a height of 75. So our formula still has not changed. It's still base times height over 2. Here our base is going to be 30. Our height is going to be 75, and we still have to divide it by 2. So the first thing we need to figure out is what is 30 times 75. You guys have probably done it on your paper. So 30 times 75 gives us 2,250. And then we can't forget that we still have to divide it by 2. So 2,250 divided by 2 is 1,125. and then we still have that centimeters squared as our label on the end. So our final answer is 1,125 centimeters squared. So the last problem part that I want you to work on is this one. So we have a picture of a leaf, but I drew a triangle over it. So go ahead, pause the video. Once you guys are all done figuring this out, you may play it back, and we will go over the answer together. So just like all the other ones, our formula has not changed. For all of these, though, this is the formula I've been using, but if it works better for you, you can also use this formula. But I'm going to use this one. So we have base times height over 2, so our base is 4, our height is 5, and we have to divide it by 2 still. So 4 times 5 gives us 20 over 2. And then we have to keep going because we can't leave it. We can still simplify it from there. 20 divided by 2 is 10. We can't forget our label is inches, and then we need to square it like we always have been doing for area. So our final answer here is 10 inches squared. So the last problem that I'm going to do with you guys is we're describing what the error is here. So I want you to pause the video, read what it says, and then we're going to look at why there is an error over here. Alright, so this question says, describe and correct the error in finding the area of a triangle. So they have a triangle over here, and they have the right formula because they have 1/2, and then they have the base of 10, but they messed up in the height over here. Now remember, just like we talked about in class, whenever you're talking about height, it has to be the straight height. So it has to be this one over here. Because pretend when you're at a doctor's office, you stand straight up. So you always measure your height when you're straight up. So this 13 here, although that may look like the height, actually that's not going to be the height. You're going to use a 12. So if you were to do it correctly, you would have base times height over 2. You would use, for your base, you would use 10 just like they did. Now for your height, you would use 12, and then you divide that by 2. And if you were to do all the math on that, you get 10 times 12 is 120, divided by 2 is 60, so your final answer would actually be 60 meters squared. So for this one, you need to have the triangle drawn, just like it is here, and then I want you to label this one 12, this one 13, and this one 10, but then I want you to say why you can't use 13. So you need to say something like, I can't use 13, because that's not the actual height. The actual height is 12 meters. So put something in your notebook that sounds somewhere around that. That sounds something like that. After you're done with that, I want you to close your notebook, and I have already told the sub the directions. So what you guys are going to do now is you are going to go ahead, you're going to shut your notebooks. I want you to work on either your green sheet that's due tomorrow. Don't forget that, because remember, we can't turn that one in late since I gave you guys a long time to do it. Or if you're done with the green sheet, you may work on your homework for tomorrow. I believe the homework page is page 84. If you guys get done with both of those, I want you to do something quietly at your desk, and please make sure that you are working the entire time. If you're not, your name's going to get written down, and I will know. So please make sure you are working as hard as you can the entire time. All right, I will see you guys Friday.